Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories like these. Now, let's get into today's story video. AITA for not allowing family to see my daughter until after they explain why she wet herself. My 7-year-old autistic kid is only half speaking. She becomes deafeningly deaf anyway. She was overjoyed when she arrived to my sister's place on Friday. It was a family gathering and I had to hurry and deliver some packages, so I was gone for about half an hour. Anyway, when I returned, she was dressed differently and definitely disturbed. I inquired as to what had occurred, and my sister informed me that she had wet herself after being denied a chocolate pop. Now, here's the problem with my girl. She would never purposely wet herself. She is so anxious about her toileting that she is in treatment. I'm not sure what's causing this anxiety, but it's rather strong. I simply brought her home since she seemed to be in a lot of pain. She sobbed in the vehicle but couldn't tell me what had occurred. As soon as we arrived home, she went upstairs and put on a pull-up. Having pull-ups available for her is recommended, so she has more control over herself, and has been incredibly snuggly ever since. She hasn't used her OB devices or signed in at all. She has 2 therapists, and she'll be seeing both of them in the coming week to see if they can help me comprehend what occurred. Family has been terrible. My sister, in particular, who continues to claim that she was being a brat and is doing this all for publicity. I've subsequently informed every family member that they will not see her or me until the truth is revealed, which may seem excessive, but I doubt my daughter would want to see anybody in the first place. Obviously, this has offended a lot of people, particularly those who have no idea what transpired. I stand by my remark. If my sister won't tell me behind my back, pressure from other family members may persuade her. I'm somewhat afraid that I'm being a jerk to others who want to visit her but now can't. Despite having fully stated my predicament, I'm beginning to feel very horrible. Is it me who's the jerk here? Etta, I am the father of my daughter. Despite the fact that I enjoy the mama bear compliments, Update. Hello everyone. First and foremost, I'd want to express my gratitude for all of the comments I received but was unable to respond to. It's really appreciated. First and foremost, my kid is okay. She's saying a few words, but not much. She is, however, back to utilizing her communication gadget. On Monday, she attended play therapy, and some of the things she played out were somewhat disturbing. I apologize for not going into more detail. My family discovered my account, and I'm attempting to preserve her privacy. She, too, began talking again that day. There was instant concern between me and her therapist, which was relayed to her second therapist, who she sees on Thursdays. However, I am pleased to report that we now have answers. My father phoned me on Wednesday. He'd been feeling bad and trying to figure out what had occurred. He ultimately persuaded my mother to extract it from my sister. At that time, my sister verified what most of you suspected. My child begged for a chocolate pop and was told no in a rage because my sister was irritated with food. Kiddo became terrified and realized she needed to use the restroom, but she was unable to communicate at this time. She attempted to catch my sister's attention, but she was shouted at again because she believed she was after the cake pop. The last section is a bit, but one of the guys shouted at her again, effectively frightening her into wetting herself, at which time she began weeping and her cousin went to get my father for her. Everyone there essentially decided not to give me the whole truth so I wouldn't go crazy on them. I was unhappy, and I still haven't contacted everyone. My father did come to visit her yesterday and came to therapy with us, which I believe helped. The therapy session largely validated what had been mentioned, and we're increasing her treatment appointments with that therapist to 2 per week. We're still trying to figure out whether 2 play therapy sessions are necessary, or if we can simply extend the current one. I still haven't talked to my sister because I don't think I'd be able to be nice with her. My father and I are striving to eliminate family members who are clearly not engaged in order for her to visit them more often, as her therapist instructed. I hope you find this update useful. I plan to wait until we had everything straightened out, but it may take months depending on how my kid handles things. Thank you everyone again for your comments, ideas, and recommendations. For those who inquired, I calculated the number of individuals present. My father, our mother, my sister's father, and his wife. Then there's her father's mother. Our mother has 6 children, including myself and her, and my 5 siblings were present, but one is a kid himself. Then there are 2 half-sisters, a step-sister, and 2 step-brothers for my sister. Except for 2, All of the siblings gathered up had spouses who were present. This equates to 21 adults. Then there were 29 youngsters, including my daughter and her younger brother. This brings the total number of persons to 50. 51 if you count me. That's a lot of folks. I believe I did all of the math correctly. Anyway, it's taking a long time. Some of the children are teenagers, and we're trying to find out whether it was one of the older males that shouted at her, which is why they're keeping the secret. Story 2. AITA for punching my brother. I, a 25-year-old female, share an apartment with my brother, 29 male. He recently injured his back at work. I've thrown out my back before. I know, young bucks shouldn't have back problems, blah yada. So I understand how much it hurts, but a part of me wishes he'd stop whining. He's been calling across the flat for the last several days for someone to bring him anything or to assist him rearrange his room so he can work from bed. Normally, I'm okay with this, but if I'm in an online class, I tell him I need to concentrate right now. He's understanding half of the time, but the other half of the time he'll start guilt-tripping me for being disabled. It's worth noting that he doesn't genuinely believe he only uses the term to describe his back discomfort in a semi-joking manner. He's growing more irritable as the days pass. Again, I get that living in the outback stinks, but why does he have to take it out on me? We generally alternate days where we prepare dinner, and since his back injury, I'd taken over. I warmed some soup and gave it to him the other day. He slopped some on himself by mistake and sarcastically responded, "Thanks, Op." All of this is manageable for me. What he did to my pet is something I can't stand. My brother enjoys tormenting and hugging the cat for some reason, and it is usually harmless, unless when the cat has had enough and scratches him. When he's unwell or in pain, he wants to hug her more for consolation, but the cat is uncaring and doesn't tolerate cuddling any more than normal. My brother reached for the cat yesterday as I was preparing dinner, and she began to flee, so he grabbed her tail. When he began pulling her backwards, I shouted at him to stop. As the cat fled, he responded, "It's great, the cat's being a drama queen," only to grasp her tail and pull her back. I shouted once again that it was really horrible to do that, but he said it was all right. This is when I may have gone too far. He frequently believes he's correct, is sketchy at best. I placed my order and sat back to keep an eye on the time. I apologized to him both that night and the next day, and I sought to contact him throughout the weekend without success. I was disappointed in myself. The most current update is that I was at a party yesterday that both my partner and I had planned to attend before the disagreement arose, and it was wonderful. I was waiting for him when he came, and we spent the rest of the evening together. He inquired as to if we may meet later at my home, and I agreed. Instead of being furious with what I did, he expressed his displeasure with my failure to notify him, claiming that he had been made to appear like an idiot. I sincerely apologized once again. I confess to him that I don't think I'll ever be able or want to make peace with my mother-in-law, and that I'm not sure if that's what I want for myself in the long run. When it comes to my SIL children, she's a terrific grandmother, but will she be the same with ours, given that she plainly dislikes and will not like me? I also told him that I was unable to be with someone who would forsake me for a period of 2-3 weeks if he became furious with me, and he agreed. As a consequence, we decided to part ways. I'm disappointed since I admire him, but in the long run, this is definitely for the best. Many people believe that my mother-in-law won the race, although I was never in a race with her. Due to my disinterest, she may come to feel that she has won, and at the very least, she will begin calling her boyfriend's next girlfriend by my first and last names.